Tally bally ho. Good salute to my friend Captain Rambunctious there. Always feel a good tally bally ho coming on when I'm riding the Enfield. And just last week I watched the motovlog he did where he traded in his thrusty. Wow. I don't know, just judging by his demeanor, I think I'm a little more broken up about it than he is. Of course, he's got a big old, I think 1700cc monster to take the place between his legs there, so you know, maybe that's why it's a little easier for the captain, but I'm sure I'll develop an affinity for him on the new motorcycle once I've seen it a couple more times. Salute to you, Captain. I'm out early on a Sunday morning, about an hour after sunrise, maybe an hour and a half. It's the only time nowadays that the temperatures are really, really good for riding. Oh man, been on the Honda too long, looking for that 5th gear and a 6th gear on the Honda. Can you imagine? I just subtract 2 gears every time I get on the Enfield. I also subtract about 60 years of technology as well, but you know. Man, it is nice out this morning. So on the subject of new bikes, I see the new bike thing is going around, man. Hepcat Harley's wife got a new bike. Squid WithGear, he got a new bike. Actually, I think he's riding his dad's bike right now while he's back east. Captain got a new bike. Bryan from Two Wheel Obsession is looking for a new bike. I mean, he's going to add to his stable there, but even test rode an Enfield. And I have to say, you know, Bryan did a fairly good review of the Royal Enfield, and yeah, you know, you have to manage your expectations with this bike, because you get a whole lot of character and not a lot of performance, and that's just the reality of it. And where he lives, it may not be the kind of performance that can do him justice, you know. I live in an area in the middle of town here where all the roads I go out on are, you know, 45, 50 miles an hour, and that's right inside the Enfield's range of comfort. But you know, where he lives, every road he gets out on, as soon as he jumps out, it's really developed out there. So every road he gets in on is instantly 55, 60 and up. Let that Hyundai get up there. I'm not even bother competing. If I was on my Honda, I'd just peg it and beat her to the punch, but I've got to merge, and then I wish she would just get on it. Alright, she's not going to. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt there. I guess she's used to most motorcycles just blasting past her, but this isn't really the blasting type of motorcycle. At any rate, yeah, you know, it turns out I don't think maybe the Enfield's going to be appropriate for him where he's at, you know. But he did a really good review of it, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. You know, Bryan's a very particular guy. He likes things a certain way, and he makes calculated moves, it seems like, in everything that he does. So he's no dummy. He went into it with eyes open. And he did the smart thing, man. He went and test rode it. Which, of course, you know, he liked the seating position and he liked the character of the bike. He liked the torque that comes on real early, but yeah, you know, the top speed has its limitations. But good for him for checking it out and always doing the smart thing, and that's educating yourself about a big purchase. So, in the vein of new bikes and alternate bikes, I have to say I recently got turned on to another bike. And I think that's probably where I'll go once I'm done with the Honda. A tough break for me, but at least I'll let that traffic get a little further ahead of me. So yeah, the bike that kind of caught my eye, of course my buddy Paul had an influence in that. He's the one that I ride with occasionally that has that cross country, that Victory cross country. And no, I'm not looking for a faux bagger like that. I'm not crazy about that Batwing. I don't know if you call it a Batwing, but it's sort of an alien head. Like if you guys have seen the movie Aliens and the shape of that thing's head, that's kind of what the Victory cross country and their fairing bikes remind me of. That alien head. They're fantastic bikes. The fit finish on them is awesome. I'm not crazy about that fairing. I don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me. But reading up on those bikes though, and how they're made, and reading up on just their performance and everything, I was like, you know, this might not be a bad option in the future. So I started looking at their bikes that aren't done up like fairings. And I'm not a fan of the Vegas or the 8-ball. Those look a little too chopperish for me. But I did see one I liked. The only Victory that I thought I could actually see myself on, and that was the Victory Gunner, I think it's called. Yeah. And it's the one with that flat headlight. It doesn't have that humongous cabezon sitting there on the front of the bike. The big old head. It's actually got a flat headlight, and it really has a classic look of a classic motorcycle. But it's a Victory, and it's got the same powerhouse that all the Victories do. It's got their I think it's a 1735 cc or something like that. But when I was reading up on it, and I was looking at the gear-driven clutch, that there's no chain there, and just the dependability of them, and the longer intervals between maintenance. You know, for a bike that I'd want to just pound some miles on, I've got the Enfield here when I want to do loads and loads of maintenance. This bike's always got something that can be done to it. If nothing else, just tightening all the nuts and bolts so something doesn't fall off the next time you're out riding around. That large displacement single is pretty efficient at finding the nuts and bolts that you didn't use Loctite on. It's really good at finding those. Anyway, yeah, the Victory Gunner. So that's something I'll be looking for in the next year or so. Really nice bike. I could go with a brand new one, but I could also go with a used one, slightly used. Wouldn't bother me a bit. The thing is that there just aren't a lot of used ones. So poor me, that means I'll probably have to go get a new one. But the good news is that it's the same engine and transmission that they're using on all their bikes. And that to me stands out. I've always been a person that likes to pick something up that has a high production, where the motors and transmissions, things like that, are used on multiple platforms, because it typically ensures that if you do need to get parts, you can get them, or that the commonality of them means that if you have to, if you're stuck somewhere and have to have someone work on it, that you can get that done. So anyway, why do I keep doing that? I think I've been rocking Rob too much, man. He says it all the time too. We must be kindred spirits. It's always on our brain. So anyway, I'm gonna let you folks go. I've been blabbing on long enough. This is probably like a 15-minute video or something. I have to hack some stuff out. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Me and my shadow. That. What an awesome shadow! Except for the fat guy on the back. I love the profile of this bike.